So in this one, we are going to reacting to ZVG's The Worst Anniversary Units in Legends History. You can clearly see I have moved. Look at the little aesthetic next to me there. You can see the aesthetic back there. The aesthetic. Good stuff going on all over here. Yes, we have moved on, and well, big spacious area here. You're gonna see a lot of unique things coming from this spacious area once I get it all settled in. Give me a little bit of weeks here, but figure ZVG told me to react to his videos recently, so I was like, free content, ZVG, how I've missed you. Let's get into this here. The worst anniversary units in Legends history. What did this man cook? If I don't see Pecan, I don't see anything.
Anniversaries in Dragon Ball Legends tend to introduce powerful characters who change the entire meta, but they also introduce some of the worst designed characters who have no use in the meta.
Note, I'm reacting to this because this current anniversary's meta right now is pretty brutal. I wouldn't say it's negative, it's just you own the top 5, arguably you own the top 3, or you're in hell. So it kind of goes to that standard of, what are we looking for here? Are we looking for health? Are we looking for diversity? Or are we looking for money pits? And it was kind of going the flow of, the first week, the second week, more of a, flow of just diversity. TGB is good against SV, but SV can still do stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Red Broly drops stone. It's like, well, now we're just movie. And I get it. Movie's part 1, but it's a bit brutal right now. So I do feel like in a way, it does kind of negatively impact this anniversary for a lot of people. I've seen people complain mostly about the meta of what the anniversary is than the units themselves or what they're actually doing, just because it's all you're fighting is the actual, anniversary, new buff, blah, 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 blah. And that's fine, but like there is an essence of it where last year you were fighting Green Miniku in part 1. You were fighting UMV in part 1. You were fighting Blue UI, of course, yeah, but you were still fighting those anomalies, Godku, Ultra Beast. You were fighting those characters in part 1 last year. I don't give a lot of grace to 7th year, but part 1 7th year, there was diversity given Blue UI was still run every game. That was one unit. But now you're running into Broly, and Gogeta, and Broly, and Gogeta. People are a little bit fed up with it, so I feel like this is kind of not clearly the same thing, but in a mannerism, it's not the furthest from what people are feeling and describing themselves feeling like before part 2 does begin, which, it's just a few days away. We could get through this together.
People remember the VBs, the Namek Gokus, and so on, and forget the Omega Shenrons and Super Saiyan Blue Vegetas. So in this video,
Okay, Omega was really good. VB was just blue. And we're not mentioning Frieza, we're mentioning Namek Goku. I get it. Namek aged better, but Frieza? Mentioning Namek over Frieza? Namek Goku was never #1 in his life. Did you know that? Now you know that. You're welcome for the information.
Breaking down the worst anniversary units
to
in Dragon Ball Legends history. The first anniversary is the only anniversary that will have no units mentioned in this video, as every character that came out was very good and defined their respective teams. This is what we would expect from future anniversaries, but the following year where we'd have this.
Oh, he's not gonna okay. He's going to mention it, probably the details of them. But let me just say before he does. ROF Blues, one of the best teams in the game. Godkey, EX Whis meta, Blue, Red, Purple. Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue Goku, EX Whis, perfect. The actual, it's an EX, bro. Like, even then, like, who gives a shit? But, like, it still exists. EX Beerus was a nothing factor. No one cared about him. So it's like, I guess there's a factorization to, like, sure, we could say something negative about the anime, but even then, I would say it's not really, anything too devious to go on for. And even going further than that, Golden Frieza, amazing. Even though SV was purple, Golden Frieza would have Yellow Full Power Frieza upcoming soon. Green Buhan had Perfect Cell, and SV was still, a devious god because it's SV doing SV things.
Anniversary, they would release 2 of the worst anniversary banners ever. The first being the absolute one that featured
Goku really was green, huh?
And green full power.
He really was green. That did nothing to a blue.
Red Omega's kit was even that
was
bad.
purple.
He was a debuffer that had a strong AoE ultimate with an AoE green card. The issue was that he was red and a fusion warrior, both of which LFVB countered. VB would be present in every match.
Blue card lock on this guy? Who the fuck approved that for VB? That's why his Zenkai sucked, and his equip sucked more. Who the fuck approved that shit?
which put Omega at a huge disadvantage before the match even started. Super Saiyan 4 Goku was also a bad character, mostly because he was a blast-based unit and the GT team was strike heavy at the time. The other best blast-based character was Red Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and he was washed. You would think Green would make him valuable in the VB meta,
he wasn't.
VB would still hit him.
This guy was actually good against VB, it's just Purple MZ existed again. Like, what the fuck do you do?
Regardless of having type disadvantage. The Absolute banner is one of the most pointless anniversary banners ever because you could get a full future team on the other banner, but there was no need to use any CC on this banner. The second anniversary would release 2 banners later in the celebration, called the second anniversary Rising banners. One of them would release Super Saiyan Blue Goku.
Know how he didn't mention Trunks or MZ? Because they were fucking gods. Literally, the future bit. Future gets glazed a lot. It's actually impressive that Sword of Hope didn't get a better team, you know, Ultra Sword of Hope here recently, because Future gets its dick licked by Legends 99 out of 100 times it ever gets buffed. It's kind of fucking ludicrous. The one time you would expect it to with the new Ultra, it didn't. Like, yeah, you got buffs and stuff that happened later on, and then Legend Rose and blah blah, but like, Trunks never really hit the heights that you were expecting Trunks to hit, right? At least the consistent heights. It's a hybrid saying. Like, we gotta be serious for a second. That was a one anomaly. Every other time, glaze. Even here, right here on your screen, those two, they weren't bad. You can talk about the Goku because he's red, but doesn't make them bad. That Vegeta was insane.
Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, both of which could help you build out a full future team. On the other banner,
see, you mentioned the Goku.
Super Saiyan Kaken Goku
what
and
the fuck ass was this?
Super Saiyan Kaken Goku was a Green Saiyan unit.
I couldn't even tell you the intent of these two. What were we supposed to do? PyCon, Green Kaioken, Full Power Super Saiyan 4? Was that the team? Because does the PyCon buff like red or green? I don't even know. Probably doesn't. It's fucking PyCon. Who gives a shit? What the fuck was this? There was no leader slot then as well, so PyCon would not even get all full Zibas if you haven't ran a team similar to what I just mentioned of green, green, red. And again, MZ existed. It's like the game itself forgot that MZ dropped, and while he has a strike cover, because, okay, sure, it doesn't matter. He's still a purple. So it made no sense why they were just dropping a green and a green. Yeah, no, that's going to help. Help who? The people that someone on the bad banner? No, not at all.
Had some success against VB, but PyCon was a whole other level of trash. PyCon was a red unit in a meta dominated by blue VB. He had 0 team options, he did no damage, had no defense, and is only known for having one of the most infamous clips in the Legends community.
Listen, what was he supposed to do here? Listen, what was this
anniversary would be the biggest
this one
anniversary units because 90% of the part 1 characters were absolutely horrible in the meta. The only ones that you could cope were LF CMZ and Purple VB. Purple VB because he could get supported by Vados and look decent, and CMZ because he had some of the best damage in the entire game even though he was a glass cannon. The headlining character, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, was terrible on release.
Everyone, my only reason, well, besides instant showcases, my only reason that I actually even speak in a video is because the one rant I did early on was the 3rd year Annie rant, because the unit sucked. OG3ku, who had gotten his buff with Halo Vegeta, green, green, yellow, whatever it was going to be at that time, was better. There was a plethora of better units, and everyone said to me, don't skip, because I said skip part 1 of the 3rd Annie. You know, there's just gonna be something coming. The fuck am I gonna predict the part 2? I can't predict that. But there's gonna be something that's just better than this. And lo and behold, there was. People were writing, it's a fusion. It's a fusion. I get it. I get it. I get it. They were writing, maliciously riding this man Schmeat to the grave, acting like this guy was actually good. This G4 fuck. If he were so good, why the hell did he get buffed 3 months later? Oh wait, he sucked. That's what you're telling me. One of the fastest buffed units in the entire game's history to become the best unit in the game with that buff, because he only had one unique ability within his first release, because his second week literally did nothing. How could he be so good if he got buffed? Oh wait, he sucked. Always trust your instincts, folks, because I did there, and I didn't go a dime more on that dumbass fucking G4 or CMZ. I mean, I had like a lower star at 3-4, because at that time there was no, maybe there was red stars, but there was nothing crazy, like not high star CMZ, just a mid one. Just waited. Then You know who dropped next.
The reason why him and the rest of the Anniversary Part 1 units are really bad is because Zenkai's dominated the game at this time. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's damage was poor, and his defense outside of his reduction on the first hit,
which you could tap him out of, by the way.
They marketed him as a defense type, so we were expecting him to be tanky, but he wasn't. And the worst part is, you could just bypass his reduction by tap blasting him or tap attacking him. For a defense type, he didn't do anything noteworthy defensively, he didn't tank well, he didn't have great disruption, he just got nuked. His team options were also horrendously bad because on GT, his best partners were Ice and Nova Shenron, and on Fusions, his best partner was Red Kefla and Purple VB. It was a nightmare situation for Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Ice and Nova were pretty mid, even though they do have some gimmick with Nova.
Ice was the best. I think Ice was the best 1% of that Annie. Well, part 1.
Into these Zenkai characters. A Red Kefla.
So number 2 was Yellow Broly. Let's move on to number 1 on the list.
Number 1?
Alright, so coming in at
there is no way this unit was somehow the worst unit of whatever year this is. Wow. Worse than that Yellow Broly? Yo, I do not remember Red Kefla for a fucking soul. Deadass worse than Yellow Sparking Z Broly? That's... wow. Okay, I mean, I guess.
Red,
I'm not gonna
Super
fucking defend her.
Kefla, who came out during the 3-year anniversary.
Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta was so bad that it was debatable that Zenkai Super 17 was a better unit than him. It would get bad to worse with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta because in part 2 they would release a purple monster in the form of Revhan, who just completely nuked Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta off the map. And not only did Gohan do it, but Bojack and Goku were also better meta options than Super Saiyan 4
Gogeta. Trunks!
He just was a terrible release for this character, but they would eventually redeem him by giving him the best LF Platinum equipment to date, boosting him up to top 1 in the entire game.
MZ got there too. Let's not forget about the king. I guess he was debatable top 1. People were debating MZ, blah, 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 blah. MZ still got to those high thresholds, and he wasn't just some dog shit, trash fucking, other fucking, useless fucking red chimpanzee like fucking G4 here. You know, he was actually useful. And on one of the, I know people hate MZ because, you know, people hate MZ. He was actually useful on one of the best teams in the game. Red MZ on release. He wasn't like this fucking thing here, this fucking cretin. He was actually good. It's crazy, huh? It's almost like you don't have to be shit to get buffed to be glazed. I mean, TGB had the G4 experience, but even then, TGB on release was still better than G4 on release. Shit's insane.
And now we're gonna move on to the 4th anniversary.
Don't glaze.
One of the most hated anniversaries in Dragon Ball Legends, and that's because part 1 was pretty mid. And you know who was even worse than mid in part 1? Super Saiyan Blue, Vegeta.
Blue unit struggling against 2 reds.
Our first transforming Super Saiyan Blue character. This character had an interesting mechanic where he had to be at 50% health or wait several timer counts to transform. This was a terrible design choice as this meta was very fast paced,
reverse red
and needing to wait several timer counts to be at full power was a death sentence.
Meta fast paced, brother. There was MUI running around. Fast paced who? I get it, the tag droids could stack and fuck you up and destroy your entire life because they were getting glazed. Fast paced my ass! It was just tag droid or stand like an idiot and green card spam within your purple Whis because the best team in the game at that point was red, purple. It was the best team until part 3. But like, still, you ran different stuff because part 2, movies, Tapion, Dragon Fist, blah, blah, Boost Merchant, blah, 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 blah. Fast pace, that's crazy. It was insanely get comboed and you can't do shit, or stand still with MUI and you can't do shit. It was fucking nightmarish. And this guy did not help because, well, he didn't do jack shit. Unfortunately, even 2 red MUI, who I don't even think has any neutral in his fucking kit. Again, clearly the androids were there. But still, you could have just given me some competency yellow prior to Annie and them. Could run them together. Instead, we get a yellow Tapion that doesn't work with the Vegeta, so what the fuck do you even do?
Disruption when his health got below 50% so he could guarantee transformation, but opposing players would just swap out to a different character, draw a card, get key, and then just continue comboing him. They should have given him a 3 timer count lock-in to guarantee the transformation, as well as give him endurance.
They should give him usability. That would have helped, I think.
And even after he transformed, he could not take hits well at all, and his damage was subpar.
Because he had to get hit to take damage!
Transforming, just for him to still be trapped.
I just figured it out! He's like bootleg Temu of the Temu bootleg Legend Broly. Wow, good job.
No idea what they were thinking. This character was useless. What makes his release worse is that in the previous anniversaries, at the start we'd have multiple 1% characters, but for this part 1 they only gave us one, and he was trash. He didn't impact the meta at all, so the game still felt kinda stale. It would get even worse for Vegeta when in part 2 they would release a 1% Tapion, who was a great character, had great support, good strike damage, and a gimmick with his death attack. Vegeta got hoed. As usual. Now for the 5th anniversary,
not recently,
headliner could have ended up in this video, but the devs decided to buff them, making them one of the best characters in the entire game. The headlining character for part 2 though would not get the same luck. Orange Piccolo was our revival character for the movies tag, and he was just
Does Orange actually consider to make this video? I feel like the bar is in hell for a lot of these, and I think Orange, I mean, is the bar that bad for Orange to make it here? I feel like it's a bit fucked up. Is Orange so bad compared to Red Kefla, G4, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, fucking Pecan? I want to say no, but like in turn, I get it. This is a big stretch, this one, in my opinion, but he wasn't stopping Go Frieza, right? Gammas weren't, he wasn't, but like Gammas are better just because they had more foundationals and better whatever the fuck on their teams. They don't even want to run together, Gammas and Piccolo, because Strike and Blast, it's a very big gap on the two. But if this wasn't included, I didn't even think of this. Like, who every year besides the first year? Okay, I got every year, but this year I didn't. It's a give me. Yeah, all right, sure.
But
have at it.
Not being great, that much worse, is the fact that Go Frieza was arguably better than Orange Piccolo on release, and they got buffed while Orange Piccolo was worse and didn't get any buffs whatsoever. And the reason
I always thought the green yellow would counter Go Frieza.
Just made no money. The issue with Orange Piccolo is that he wanted to be a tank that couldn't tank. Does that ring a bell? Another issue was that his unique gauge post-transformation was terrible because he had no way of emptying the gauge, so it was a one-time use.
Even then, the not tanking thing, it's like he dropped at the worst time because they just giga buffed someone that's going to get Zenkai Glazed with a one-shot orange. So it's like, you won't even be able to see his full aptitude a lot of time because you see Ultra Hit, you see UGB getting reused, you see Go Frieza, so it's like, Piccolo's looking every fucking direction, wondering, the fuck do I do? I'm just getting plowed, and it's like he can't even get the fucking gauge. And if he does, he's at damn near death's door, and he's just like, the fuck am I gonna do? You know, he's just waiting to fucking die at that point. So it's like, it really is just unfortunate circumstance. G4 is just shit. Piccolo, I feel like, is just, like, Gammas are a slow unit. They're not gonna burst you like a Go Frieza was, right? They're not a tag unit that's meant to be glazed and then do crazy and then blah blah. They're a tag unit that's a slower, and then they do the big fucking core breaker, whatever. If he wasn't fighting Go Frieza buff, I feel like Piccolo obviously would be better, but like really would have been one of those top dogs. Like, given UGB and Hit, whatever, being run again, he still would have made it up to those decent tiers, and obviously here he wasn't really in a fucking tier.
Nowadays, defense gauges can be emptied and filled up again with certain conditions, but Orange Piccolo's is just once, which makes it useless. And similar to
they didn't change it on Plat, which is weird.
Orange Piccolo would get a platinum equipment in the following months, which made him a great partner for LF Red.
That's a fake Plat, bro. That shit too old.
Now, in making this video, I've come to realize that green anniversary units used to be cursed on Legends, because during the 6th anniversary,
man just skipped Dragon Fist. How you gonna say they're cursed, then he just talk about Dragon Fist positive? Come on, CVG. Stop. Broly! ZBG, you're hating. Stop. The Greens need the love.
They released LF.
They don't get love.
And he was in an even worse situation than Orange Piccolo because they released a purple LF Gohan.
Okay. He's kind of right. Yeah, I'm not gonna debate that.
One of the best characters in the game, and then
what the fuck did I babble?
LF,
did I see what I think I saw there?
Worst situation.
What the fuck did I spew now? I spew a lot of bullshit.
They released a purple LF Gohan.
Back to me.
Who was one of the best characters.
Baby in top 10. Baby was good in part 1. I don't mind that. Ulton, Radhan. Okay. Valid. Golden Frieza was fucking cooking still. Like, I was not getting fucked by anybody. People stopped using FGB, so it was like, okay, Golden Frieza back to being free. Obviously, there UUI. I guess people ran UUI before Annie, but then FGB, but then people stopped running FGB, so UUI was better. That was definitely Golden Frieza glaze there. FGB a little bit too high for me at this point. But there's no Godku, huh? Again, I guess it's like Goku deserves this more than Piccolo, but like, again, the bar is in fucking hell below these two. I really do think. You can argue Goku though.
2 weeks later, they would release another broken purple unit.
I'll defend Goku here a little because he could not fully consistent, but he could strike card, be neutral, ult, one shot. He could do that to UG4. UG4 was frail, even on boost, whatever the fuck, he was frail, right? You could one shot a UG4. Ulton, you couldn't do shit. It's Ulton. It's go on. Good luck out there. You're in fucking hell. But he could one-shot UG4s to give a little grace to the guy. And even more so, they also fucked them up because they dropped a green safety merit unit to help UG4. So Goku doing those typical, well, not typical, hopeful one-shots that he was doing to G4, which he couldn't do at Ulton, died out because then Omega dropped. So he actually just got fucked over even harder by his own element. So really do be your own people at that point.
Super Saiyan 4, Gogeta. Goku's issue was that he took too long to ramp up to be effective, and defensively,
and covering all on clicking hard, right?
He had endurance,
Wasn't that it?
but he didn't have any cancel buff effect, so you could just ramp
Ulton did.
Vegito and just kill
Ulton
him.
did.
And like I said before, there were two very strong purples in the meta, and Goku being green was not a good thing. That was a terrible choice from the devs. They literally made this character unusable just based off the meta alone.
Is it that bad of a pick? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm really trying to think of these previous Annies of like, is this element that bad? If they just make them good, then like it's a good pick, right? You know, obviously, but like, you know, if Purple Evo was good, then Apeless would have looked like a bad pick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think the color picks are usually even the issue. It really is the kit design within them. The color picks, whatever. Because again, think about Evo. If Evo was good, Apeless, Frieza obviously better off than Apeless, but Apeless would have been just a dud. He just would have been air if Evo was actually competent and like runnable at some point. So I feel like it's not even the unit's color choice. I feel like it's more akin to just, what the fuck's the design fucking spin the wheel gonna be today? And it just, I don't even know what Goku's design is. He has no cancel buff effect while his partner who dropped next to him has cancel buff effect. I don't know what that means. It confuses my brain. And actually, now everything has fucking cancel buff effects. They stopped cancel buff effects for like 7-8 months, and then they start again. Now fucking everybody in the country has cancel buff effects. So I don't know what the fuck they were doing for the past like 2 years now, because it's been on off. Like it's like here's the fucking period cramp, and then it's gone, then it's back, then it's gone, and it's like, but it's inconsistent. It's not, you know, every month, every other. It's just boom, 3, 5, 7, 8. It just made no sense. I feel like they don't even know what the fuck they were doing. And ours still don't know what they're doing with cancel buffs. Because if I see more of that shit in part 2, I'm going to get tilted. And I might even fucking rant because that shit pisses me off. Stop nullifying my big attacks. They're big booms. Let them be big booms.
Could not bring him into battle without either Ultimate Gohan or Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. And Goku was also the only LF or the only premium unit in the 6th anniversary to not have a super strong gimmick. He was very basic.
Hey, we agree, it's a pretty good gimmick. Hey,
can be guessed. Gogeta had Assault Chain. Gohan had anything.
Super strong gimmick, brother. People used FGB 1 week. We're glazing, CVG. We're glazing. I get it. We're glazing though.
And it blue cards that notified endurance, and G4 had his defensive gauge and his super powerful ultimate arts card. God Goku legitimately had nothing, and he was advised for you to skip his banner. God Goku was so trash on release that the community had hashtag buff God Goku trending on Twitter. That's how bad this character was, and that's how much it hurt the community.
They don't like us. They don't listen.
Now listen, bro. Honestly, this character is just straight up trash. Like, he's not good. Like, they need to buff him. Like, the fact that buff God Goku was trending on Twitter just says it all. There's no unit in Dragon Ball Legends. If you're a good unit, then there shouldn't be any reason why buff God Goku should be trending. Y'all can cope, y'all can cry, y'all can create whatever fantasy in your head, God Goku is simply not good. Like, he's easily one of the worst anniversary units ever.
But hey, as with all these green anniversary LFs, they would eventually give God Goku one of the best equipments in the entire game.
He aged really well, bro.
It's so funny that the side
On equip until part 2 of 7th Year Annie. He got the equip in the festival next. So, just a bit after his, not too long after his release, obviously. And that man for 6 months, 5 months, 6 months, right, something like that, was thriving. He was like consistently a top 3 for like at least 3 to 4 months. Shit was insane. And all they did was modernize numbers a little bit and cancel buffs. And that, it doesn't really hurt to mention that there weren't that many godly broken demon purples running around, but still, it was that easy, bro. He could have been that on release. That's my whole thing. The green wasn't the issue. The design of the stupidity was the issue, and the easier gauge, which, again, design, stupidity, that's not the color issue.
is release trash unit, give them a broken plat, and they're great.
Alright, Piccolo's plat was not Goku's plat.
Release Legends.
The second plat
I
was
don't really
not.
feel like it.
Now, remember how I said Vegeta was getting hoed? Well, he got hoed again during the 7th anniversary because Evil Vegeta is one of the worst anniversary characters in Legends history. Now listen, I'm gonna get very, very passionate right now because I personally dropped 50,000 CC for Evo.
You stupid.
I made countless videos on Evo. I probably use Evo the most out of anyone in the Dragon Ball Universe community. Either way, this character was just completely trash, especially compared to MEY Goku.
He ain't
Evo
wrong.
barely did damage, was poor defensively, and had poor equipment options.
He was countered by himself, UMV, because this, like I keep mentioning, this fucking on and off bullshit they like to do, this was an off. Neither part 1 unit had canceled buffs while both having endurance. I think Evo had like, I don't think it's neutral. I don't know what he does. I really don't. I think he just big heals. They both big heal when they get hit by a big attack, right? An ultimate or some bullshit. No cancel buffs with endurance. So UMV lock him in, strike, ult, AoE, by the way, ultimate, murder him, murder his team. And you have like Kaba there, meant to be like the protector. The fuck? The fuck is Kaba?
This gauge is one of the worst gauges to ever come to the game, and it took forever to get to level
And the
3.
buffs up.
And once it's level 3, you don't get anything special. You still get the same effect as it's level 1. So what's the point? Oh wait guys, I finally get endurance notification on my blue card at level 3
You have to
gauge.
earn
That's
endurance
great,
and
right?
all.
Are you serious?
Oh,
You have to click like
and
15
just
cards to earn
immediately
endurance.
just
No.
get endurance notifying blue cards for free, but I gotta work for 40, 60 time accounts to get
Hey, UI had a click 6 click, not land, click 6 cards to get his build up from pre to post, bro. That's a lot of merit, because when you're usually standing still doing jack shit, it's really tough to click 6 cards. ZVG. Here, Mr. Evo only clicking 15 cards and charge stepping and all your teching. That shit light work. Come on now.
What a wonderful design, Toshi. I love you, Toshi. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. By the way, guys, Evo also didn't cancel buff effects, so UMV, who was top tier at the time, could easily snipe him with his ultimate. MEY also didn't get cancel buff effects, but guess what, guys? MEY Goku got a heal every time somebody popped a big move. Evo, he got nothing. He needs Kaba to cancel buff effects.
I thought he got a heal
Why
or like
release an
defense neutral?
anniversary
I don't know,
headliner
bro.
that needs a
Didn't matter.
1% to get a basic function that you give everybody else in the entire game?
Calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.
Okay, I'm gonna say it right now. Evo is easily the worst anniversary LF ever, based on the context of the meta, of who he released with, of who came out after him. He has to be one of the worst characters.
Okay, I get the passion. I love the passion. Big fan of passion. G4. Talk about it for a second. Shitty without a purple, ruining his day. Shitty post the purple, ruining his day. At least he got a redemption arc, you know, Zenkai, Plat, beautiful stuff. Zenkai worse than the Plat, though, like that Plat was number 1. What the fuck you gonna do, right? I get it, Nameku, I get it, UMV. They really just put it in them, then went further on, and there was just like a gangbang on Evo, triple, on the bed. I get it. I'd still give that title to G4. I wouldn't take that away from G4. Shit, I'd give that probably the fucking Godku got the same treatment as, I guess Evo is definitely worse than G4. And then Godku and this guy are tied. I'd say that.
Ever. And he doesn't even get the benefit of getting a good platinum like Piccolo, God Goku, and Super Saber Gogeta.
He ain't green.
He got one of the worst platinum equips in history.
I'm glad he deserved to be a fucking part 1 fucking headliner of anniversary. Fuck this guy. He deserved it.
Because I could easily
rant Evo. Just forget about Evo.
One of these days, I'm just gonna drop a 1 hour Evo rant and just speak my mind on this
character.
Talking about
AP or
to keep the video pushing, let's get into
Paragus?
the next character that came out in the 7th anniversary that was pretty dog shit, and that is Nappa. Now Nappa has a cool gimmick. I actually like the gimmick that Nappa has.
Same. I was coping them for like the first days. I was like, this is so good. But then they suck individually because, like, again, why the fuck would you make something new good when it's in first iteration and it's an anniversary? That would make no sense.
He gets to use his
We're not talking about Paragus.
Paragus,
suck, please.
Explode and deal damage. The issue was that Nappa released in a timeout meta, and whoever wins the timeout meta is based on who does the most damage. Now, people who attack the Cybermen could deal insane amounts of damage. They eventually win when the game will go to timeout. It's similar to LF Metal Cooler that came out where you could just farm for damage. That's how people were doing to the Cybermen. So once people realized that I could just nuke the Cybermen for big damage, they would pop.
Who the fuck ran Nappa past one day? Fucking DVG. Who ran him? Hating on the GOAT.
Anniversary characters we've got in Dragon Ball Legends. Let me know which release hurt you the most. Obviously for me, it's Evo. It's not even close. This is ZVG, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and one.
Who hurt me the most? Which anniversary headliner? I'm glad you asked. The bad ones? There's so many good options. How to pick and choose. I guess Godku. It just would have been nice. It just would have been cool to see a green arise. That's not fucking Rathan, because Rathan was looking top 2 within Ultron, and it's like, wow, there's a green guy that's really doing something. So here's this other green guy. Let's just make him worse than an Ultra that's months and months and months already old. It's kind of slapped in the face for an anniversary headliner, but it's a Legends thing. He got redeemed. Zenkai's going to happen in a year or 2. We'll see a redemption again. He's going to go 2 for 3. It's going to be great. Can't wait. But on release, I just would have loved it. I don't give a shit about a fusion, so all those fucking fusion part 1s or part 2s and any fuck away from me. But Godku would have been cool to be better. It would have been nice. I like that video. Little bit of OP hate. A little bit. Don't care about the guy. A little bit of OP hate. I get the trend. Green units suck fucking everything at this fucking game on anniversaries. And, hey, Legend Broly doesn't, so there's something. Some people fucking hate him, but there's something. What do you guys think of my reactions? EVG's the worst anniversary units in Legends history. I'll see you guys in the next one.